Well, thank you all for coming. It's a great pleasure to have all of you here on this beautiful and sunny day here in Noe Valley on a lovely parklet that we'll be highlighting in just a few moments. I just want to highlight before we begin the program, I introduce Mayor Lee and Supervisor Wiener and all of our other community partners that have done so much work to beautify and make our area a place that we can be proud of. Just the diversity that's behind us and the amount of teamwork it takes to make sure we can celebrate in the ways that we will be doing today. So with that, my name is Joaquin Torres. I'm the Deputy Director of the Office of Economic and Workforce Development and also lead Mayor Lee's Invest in Neighborhoods initiative, through which the Community Benefit District and Business Improvement District program operates. And now we welcome President Chu. Welcome. Well, so without further ado, to get us kicked off, a man who is no stranger to neighborhoods and holds it very dear to his heart, Mayor Edwin Lee.
Thank you, Joaquin. It's great to be here in Noe Valley, 24th Street. You could literally see all the changes that have occurred in the constant, vibrant feeling of this whole street. I've been not only an observer, we've oftentimes come up here on the weekends, and God, it gets crowded up here as well.
Babies and dogs.
Right. But I'm glad to join Supervisor Wiener and Supervisor and Board President David Chu, who are actively supporting the neighborhood beautification efforts, the CBDs, the BIDs, the community benefit districts, and the business improvement districts all over the city. We have some 11 of these CBDs throughout the city in 5 different supervisorial districts. There are 2 citywide CBDs, and the latest one, I want to thank the board again for blessing the Moscone expansion district that is raising its own money so that it can really complement and pay for the expansion of Moscone. But from those big downtown ones, and there's more, the neighborhood ones are the ones that I enjoy just as much, because the neighbors are always constantly working to find ways of improving, and I'm really glad to see the agencies that they work with, whether it's Joaquin's group on Invest in Neighborhoods or Public Works that helps get the permits done for these parklets that just for fun, been here for 26 years and still having fun, David, right? Yeah, and that's the way it should be. I know he lives in my own district, Glen Park, and we have fun down there, and it's always a great investment to have the agencies work together with the neighborhood merchants associations, the residents associations, the community benefit districts, to improve and constantly kind of change and improve the streets and the uses of the streets, as we do try to support all of our neighborhood-oriented businesses. And this is really makes our city great, all these neighborhoods. I want to recognize Scott Wiener because he's been doing it all over his district. That includes Glen Park. And then David is working along Broadway and trying to even create the newest and freshest business improvement district there, kind of called a little different. Maybe it's the entertainment district, which we've often referred to it as, but getting the businesses up there a little better organized so they can welcome in a lot more foot traffic, as well as the automobiles that occur there at the evening. This is happening all over the city. It's happening in the Bayview. It's happening in Visitation Valley. It's happening in North Beach, as well as in the Mission, and certainly in Noe Valley and others. And we have a number of representatives here. Recognize Dan Weaver. It's Ocean Avenue, and he's creating CBDs down there as, again, every time there are these CBDs that are created with the residents and the small businesses there are instant and ongoing improvements that occur. And those improvements readily are felt with our police department as well, who's here today, because when you have people actively engaged in the improvements of their streets and their uses, you're going to see a lot more higher levels of safety. And people are a lot more conscious. They're looking out for each other as well as supporting each other's success. This is, I think, the trend that is going on in every great city across the country, is people rediscovering and reinvesting in their neighborhood stores and restaurants and so forth. And then you get people saying, wow, we're a great city, because they love losing themselves into every single neighborhood. And this is what makes our city great. So I'm here to thank all of the people that make this happen. There are so many elements that have to be coordinated and collaborative with. But most importantly, it is this organic move that the local merchants have, that they want to invest and they want the city to invest in their neighborhoods. And that's not necessary to me a plea for help. It's really a plea for success. And it gets us all riled up in City Hall to get out here. Who wouldn't want to be here? It's better than the East Coast right now, to be quite candid with you. And as we showed off even Pebble Beach this weekend, all day long, I'm sure my daughters in New York are saying, I wish I got the airfare back out to San Francisco. It's really great to be out here and great to celebrate. And we're going to signal again through, and I know Supervisor Wiener's intent and certainly David Chu's intent is to make sure that our budget, as we approach some decision making, reflects adequate investments too in our neighborhoods, and we will do that together and make sure it gets done, because when we do that kind of investment, we get so much in return. People do spend a lot more time, do make their own personal investments, do bring their kids and families out, and we're going to have a lot tighter city, as well as a lot more celebratory city for all the different international events that we sponsor and encourage here. This is what it's all about, the CBDs, the BIDs. We have a lot more people coming on. Market Street, they're going to expand on the 6th Street and Mission, their CBD there. We have Rincon Hill property owners working with Trans Bay property owners to form a business improvement district there. We have businesses along the Embarcadero that wish to establish a BID. And of course, the latest one was the Moscone Expansion District that we're very proud of, because they're really going to create a very good way to finance the expansion. So again, I want to thank everyone for working together, for doing this, and reestablish and recommit that through our city's budget, we're going to always keep this in mind and make sure that all of our neighborhoods become even more successful and reinvent themselves as needed. This is a great thing. Thank you.
Thank you. When you have active communities, you need active leadership, and there's been no one who's been as strong, especially right here where we stand in District 8, but our District 8 Supervisor, Scott Wiener. It'll catch you.
Okay. Is that good? Great. For the tall guy. Thank you, Joaquin. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, President Chu, everyone for being here today in our wonderful Noe Valley. I have the honor of representing Noe Valley at the Board of Supervisors. And I just want to start with a shout out to the Noe Valley Association, the CBD here in Noe Valley, and Deb Neiman and Bob Roddick, the great leaders of that organization, who have really just done so much to improve this commercial corridor. And actually the parklet where we're standing right now, as well as the parklet down the street in front of Martha's, were two of the earliest parklets, and they're truly two of the best parklets. And there's a variety of designs of parklets without making any value judgments. But I always tell people, if you're considering putting a parklet in, please go to 24th Street, look at the two parklets there, because they're beautiful, they're well designed, they're well used. It's exactly what we mean with the Pavement to Parks program. And I know we're going to make this corridor even better as we get streetscaping money from the Streets Bond, Prop B, and things are really looking up for Noe Valley and for 24th Street. So I have the good fortune of having two of the very best CBDs in my district, in Noe Valley, as well as the Castro Upper Market Community Benefit District. And when you are a member of the Board of Supervisors and you are responsible for working with people all over the district to try to clean and improve and make our neighborhood safer, it is a huge benefit to have a CBD in a particular neighborhood. It makes all the difference in the world. You have every day, 7 days a week, eyes and ears, people who are in the neighborhood cleaning it, helping keep it safe, who notice things that might be going wrong before it gets to a breaking point, who are always there for you, partnering with you, and helping you improve the neighborhood. And so I feel really lucky to have two very effective CBDs in my district, and Andrea Aiello from the Castro Upper Market CBD is here as well. And it's particularly important in this day and age because we know that public budgets aren't what they used to be. And particularly our Department of Public Works is an amazing group of people who, with the limited budgets they have, are able to do a lot of work cleaning and making our neighborhoods more vibrant. But there are limits to what they can do with their resources. I and others work every year to try to get more cleaning resources for DPW, and we're going to continue to try to do that. But it is an essential part of the equation to have people in the community who 7 days a week are partnering with the Department of Public Works, partnering with city agencies to make sure that our neighborhoods are clean, safe, and vibrant. That's certainly what we have here in Noe Valley, and we have it in a lot of parts of the city, thanks in large part to our community benefits districts. And I know that we at City Hall need to keep supporting them and keep making them stronger and stronger, and you have my commitment to do that. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Supervisor Wiener. Up next in our program is President David Chu, who is no stranger to community benefit districts and is very quite excited about the Broadway Entertainment District. It's in the formation process right now. So, President Chu, please.
Good morning, Noe Valley. It is great to be here in the sun and also with your very effective district supervisor, Supervisor Scott Wiener. I want to thank the mayor and OEWD for inviting me this morning and for their leadership. And I have to tell you, in my very first year, I was exposed to how important these districts are to my district. I want to thank the leadership I know of the Union Square Business Improvement District that is here. I was asked to triple the size of that business improvement district in my first year because we had seen so many early successes that we thought it was important to really expand the territory in Union Square. Supervisor Wiener talked about the fact that he's got two of the best districts in his district, and I want to counter that a little bit. I think in addition to Union Square, good thing there are only two supervisors here. That's absolutely right. In my district, not only do I have a very well-functioning Union Square Business Improvement District, but the Fisherman's Wharf Community Benefits District has been responsible for moving projects like the Pier 43 Promenade, like the Jefferson Street improvements, making sure that those two neighborhoods are among some of the gems that we see in our city. And I'm really happy to announce that not only are we talking about a new potential community benefits district that I will be proposing in the coming weeks along Broadway. Right now, the title for that CBD will be the Top of the Broadway Community Benefits District, but there have been some serious conversations around a CBD on Polk Street, as well as potentially some early conversations around whether the financial district should also consider a CBD. All of these are indications that when you have the types of public-private partnerships that these districts represent, when you have property owners working with small business tenants, working with merchants, working with city staff, working with our local police department, you can do great things. And I think the goal for all of us, whether it is our mayor, our district supervisor here, or all of us who are working to make sure that San Francisco has the most amazing gems of neighborhoods for the entire world, and certainly for our city to enjoy and explore. And that's what we're trying to achieve. And I want to thank all of you for being representative of those villages that are making this happen. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Supervisor. And we all know that this work is impossible without the diligent commitment from our community members. And so I'd like to invite up Deb Neiman, the Executive Director of the Noe Valley Association, along with the Chairman of the Board of Directors, Bob Roddick. So please, thank you so much.
Yay. And our other Vice President of the Board, David Island. Hi, thank you all for coming to Noe Valley. Welcome. I think the original purpose of this press conference was also to tell you about the great work that Lisa Bagan and OWED did with Stanley Elliott in terms of giving you a quantifiable data about why CBDs are important. They did a terrific study, and I hope you all get copies of it. Because what I wanted to talk to you today about was not just the quantifiable aspects of why CBDs work and why they're good, but also more of the qualitative aspects in terms of how CBD changes the dynamic in a community. That it's more than just planting trees or putting out a park bench or changing the streetscape or doing a parklet. It's really, the real magic of CBD happens because we do all these things, and in and of themselves they're important, but it changes the feeling people have about a neighborhood. It gives them ownership, it gives them pride, it gives them a great sense of belonging, which I think is equally important to all the great economic data that OWED can rationalize for why CBDs are important. So I want to thank Bob and David and Lisa and the mayor and Supervisor Wiener for coming out today, and just remind you that the dynamic aspects of a CBD have more to do with how the way they make people feel than just in the physical aspects that they bring to the street. Thank you.
And I want to thank Dave Island for hosting us here today in front of his business, Just for Fun. And Dave, you'd like to say a couple of words? Absolutely. All right, well, thank you all so much for coming out today. I also want to thank again the mayor, the supervisors, and the community members who've always made this possible across our city to make our city great. And also to say thank you to Lisa Pagan for her incredible work leading the Community Benefit District and BID program. Congratulations on the Moscone Expansion District. I know it was a lot of hard work for you. And also, I just want to say that she is leaving in her place to lead the Community Benefit District program and BID program, Grazia Tano. So Grazia Tano, I'd like to give you a shout out. Thank you so much. Looking forward to your work as well. So thank you again all so much. To Stanley, thank you for the report and all your work. Thank you so much.